Welcome, lovely souls. I hope you're doing well. I thought I would come on in and do the Gemma's Gems Wellness Wednesday. However, it's really about the womb and Hara healing. So the womb for women, but also the energetic womb within men, which is in the Hara between the sacrum and the navel. And what it's been really showing to me over these last few months, and as I collect the different pieces that, like I keep talking about, this jigsaw puzzle piece that keeps coming together, is showing me the mother and our earth healing and how they're intertwined. So I really want to go into what's been coming through to me and how I can hopefully give it justice, because there was huge amount of downloading for me yesterday. I have been having Mother Mary coming through to me quite a lot, which has a very beautiful yet powerfully strong, loving energy. It's that love of the mother that's very gentle, yet also very strong and powerful as well. And the grace that sits behind that too. And it was actually interesting, it sort of kicked off with the Let It Be with John Lennon, as Mother Mary comes into that tune. And I just started to cry. And I really cried. And I nearly came on and did the video, and I thought I'd better get more composure and give it more of a high perspective when I come in to share this with you. And it was really, what was coming through was a whole load of grief. So much grief, like a mother of the loss of a child, or also the grief of the pain of their child. And I see this from what we're seeing in our collective in terms of the war, and what we will also be picking up on. We are all one. We are points of singularity in this whole sea and ocean of consciousness, of unity. So what is going out in the cosmos, or whatever you want to call it, the universal field of consciousness, we will be feeling, and we're going to be feeling it on a much higher level than we probably have ever. And this is getting greater and greater for us as our heart consciousness is opening, where we really start to feel what feels aligned to us, what feels good and what doesn't, what do we resonate with and what do we want to let go of. And this is getting greater and stronger within us. So many are looking at this war that we're seeing, and or wars, and not aligning to it. This is not my truth. This is not what I desire. This is not right. And so we're seeing that grief, and we're seeing so many children suffering, and that deep mother pain of their children and the sacrificing of their pain. And if you think of Mother Mary, there would have been that sacrifice of Yeshua, her child, knowing that that was going to be happen, but also going through that grieving process, yet behind that knowing that there was his ability to transform, to rebirth, and to come back to life. So it was really a matter of deep level of trust in that process. So we are really going through a transitioning process, a rebirthing process. There's a little bit of something at some as much, is we're going through this rebirthing, this transformation process. But to do that, we need to integrate a deeper level of connection to ourselves, a much more grounding part of us, to be able to trust this, to be able to really connect into our senses and into our heart, which is when we're really in our heart, fear is the stranger. Because this whole process, this is up-leveling and creating seismic shifts in our world. We're seeing it physically and emotionally and mentally. We're seeing seismic shifts in the earth so volcanic and earthquakes and fire energy, huge amount of fire energy is going on. And then we're seeing it also in terms of the wars as well, you know, in terms of being able to start looking at the patriarchal system that has been based on a conditioning truth that has gone back thousands of years, going back right, you know, beyond Roman Catholic and the Roman Empire, in terms of that we need governing, that we have become sort of disempowered through, that we have become the victims, and that we have no choices. And that is what's going to be broken down. I see it like a scab that humanity is sort of created with fear. And fear isn't our truth. Fear is actually the illusion. Our real sense of who we truly are is love. It's joy, it's peace. Yet fear has become the illusion that we have connected with, which then becomes our reality. So we need to break that pattern, to break out the pattern of fear and revenge and vengeance. And I've talked about this victim-perpetrator energy that has really been shown to me a good 7-8 months ago, that's coming through our bodies. In terms of, sometimes people play out as a martyr, so they give away their energy, but because underneath that there's the victim energy of saying, I'm not equal, I'm not worthy. And the victim basically believes they have no power. Okay, and we have this victim-perpetrator energy, which is this outward oppression, and the victim is this inward suppression. So what's coming up energetically for us? So we have got the solar eclipse, or the full moon, coming up on the 25th of March, just checking that's right, and that's in Libra, which is all about balance. So this is going to be going, well, where are the scales tipped? And let's bring in that balance. And when people start claiming back their power, their sovereignty, as they heal their victim wounds, the perpetrator wounds, they will start to claim back their power. And this isn't power to overpower anybody, it's about that inner sovereignty and their inner magic. And knowing that is from actually awareness, so they can make conscious choices, that they can break these patterns and cycles that we have lived individually and collectively, which we see in war, where it keeps repeating and repeating, and nothing is gained apart from the people that are benefiting from selling the artillery and gaining the land that they can profit on. And this, as I've spoken before in my updates, is that there's this energy that's coming up and saying, nobody owns this earth, nobody. And war is just not necessary, because nobody can actually ever own it. Nobody can ever claim it. And we are more custodians of earth. So there's many things going on in terms of up-leveling, releasing, breaking down. And if we aren't in our bodies, if we're not connected and trusting the process, we can feel like everything's falling apart, which is good, but we have to recognize that it's a way of breaking free. It's an opportunity to self-empower, to self-liberate, to bring in equality, to bring in justice. It's all about this leveling up, this sovereignty, this power, and that how money, power, sex, and control has been abused for thousands and thousands of years. It's been used in religion, which is causing wars. It's ultimately all these aspects of our society are all coming up to the surface for us to see them for what they are. So going back to womb healing, So this has been shown to me really, like I say, for the earth and our own personal healing journeys as well. So we are here as souls, believe it or not, you have come in and decided, right, I'm going to break that crap. I'm going to come in and I'm going to break that pattern of what's happened for society over and over and over thousands of years. You might not know that, but that's on what's happened on a soul conscious level. So we are here to break the patterns. We are here to shift from being victim and being equal and seeing each other as equal. So the womb, from a personal perspective, is those mother wounds. Okay, so we've got Mother Earth and we've got our mother wounds. So our wounds and trauma can go through epigenetically for generations until it's broken. Now we will see that pass from mother to daughter through the ovaries and through the cells, the unconscious body, but also that daughter who then becomes a mother, who has a son, passes that on to. Unless that pattern's been broken, those wounds continue. That suppression, that abuse has continued through the system. So not only us as now in this present moment, we are women with a womb that are here to process and break that pattern and to alchemize it, because the womb has the capacity to transform, to rebirth, to reborn. It has, only love is present when it's connected into the heart and the womb connection, supported by the kidneys. So the kidneys know they're safe, so we're not interacting with fear. We're on a very deep healing neural system connection into the womb. We can start alchemizing and transforming of what is the lower vibrations of shame and guilt, which have the vibration of lead, and also to transforming that lead to gold, this great alchemy. And also that is fear to love. We have this amazing capacity to transform for ourselves and for our generations before us and for the generations after. So we can do healing on ourselves on this present moment that will heal energetically past and future. We can heal for our children. We can heal for our ancestors. And through the work that I do, it heals right back to source, whenever we began, which who knows when that really was. But through the work that I do and what I'm being shown is that we go right back to Earth Mother, okay? And we become the child of Mother Earth, who wants only the best for us, who offers only unconditional love, that wants us to be the best we could possibly ever be. And there was that grief that was passing through, is that the despair of pain that their children were experiencing. And we can connect into that, the womb of the earth, to heal ours. You know, so if we are physically suffering from menstrual issues, menopause, cysts, endometritis, all these different aspects that sit within there, we can alchemize this. We can let go of those low vibrations that are sitting there waiting to be healed. It's known that we can do it. But if we're not even experiencing that, we can heal for our children and we can heal for ourselves. So generally feel like a higher sensation of peace and joy and love. And when we become that expression, we exfoliate that out into this united field, this consciousness. So if we want more peace in this world, we be it, we create that. And this isn't just for women. I've said this at the beginning, it's for men too. I mean, I know you haven't got a womb, however, you have that Hara, the energy of it, and you have the capacity through consciousness to heal your mother wounds. Okay, so these would be the patterns where the masculine has distrusted the feminine. And then continues that pattern. So then has that negative response towards the feminine, which the feminine responds to distrust of the masculine, and these children see that response of what's going on with their parents. And this cycle continues until we recognize that, until we hold the compassion for our parents and our ancestors who didn't know what they were doing, really. Not really, they were just caught up in fear and just continuing the cycle. Yes, now we have the opportunity. So we have this opportunity to hold more compassion and forgiveness. I mean, we have to acknowledge all the pain and the shit that we've carried. We can't just jump from that to just being forgiveness. We have to acknowledge and let our bodies process and release. But that is fine, we can do that. And then you get into that point of forgiveness and you can let it go so this cycle doesn't continue. So yes, both men and women can do this Womb-Hara healing, okay? And like I say, it's hugely powerful because we start breaking these patterns and these cycles. And it starts breaking through, which I see as it comes into the earth, it's starting to open up the ley lines of our earth. It's starting to, because there's a whole load of energy that's uprising. I've talked about the cicadas, this uprising of energy. It's coming up. So to give birth, the women will appreciate this a little bit more. You know, to be able to do that, you need to be able to allow the space, the softening for that opening. So if you think of the cervix and the yoni opening, if it's hard and tight, it's going to really hurt, okay? So the massaging, the softening, the breathing, the opening, the creating the space and going deep into the body and to allow those primal movements to enable it to happen, the process is certainly less painful. And we need to do that through our healing, to create that space, to create that softening, to come into our heart, to start releasing, to let go of those scabs, to let the wounds properly heal, rather than the scab keep breaking and hurting itself. And we are doing that within the earth as well. So there's a lot of uprising energy, whether we want to see that physically, like I say, volcanic and earthquakes, and the seismic changes, but also the mental, the emotional uprising, which is going to happen, okay? People will start to break out of that victim energy and will start uprising. So when we come up from a space of consciousness, more heart consciousness, we do it in a much higher vibration than it is of fear. So if fighting for fear doesn't work. Come from a space of heart and love, which everyone says, oh, it's a bit wishy-washy love. It's the most powerful place you can be in. And when you do something from love, we get love back. Think of the energy attracts energy. So if you fight fear, you get fear. You come from a higher space, that's what you get back. And that is what is the connection for everybody. So it's really about this love, this mother-child love, that unconditional love that becomes the bond to what has been separation before, which has been distrust, which has been disease, which is war. And we're healing that. We can heal that. We can heal ourselves and we can heal humanity. And it's really acknowledging that as well. So I hope that has give you an understanding of what is happening and what may be happening, well, will be happening for you, how deep on a level that might be happening for you, but it will be going through that. We'll all be going through this in some level, okay? So I've been guided to offer a Womb-Hara healing online, and that will be on the 24th of March, just before the full moon solar eclipse in Aries. So it's all very fiery, and this is about letting that come out, what we need to let out, and that alchemy, that fire to alchemize and release and bring in that love, okay? So that is going to be on Sunday the 24th of March. It'll be online, and I will do a Zoom link for that. So there'll be a maximum of 100 people. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a big, it's going to be a big one. It's certainly going to be needed. So whether people jump on this straight away, but it's certainly something that is needed. And like I say, being ahead of the game and doing that massage, that softening, that opening will make the whole birthing process a lot more comfortable. Okay, there's no gas and air on this one. So so it's Sunday the 24th of March, forgetting myself, I was going into my zone of gas and air and giving birth at that point. So yes, Sunday the 24th of March, it'll be on Zoom online. It'll be free as well. And so to attend, it will be chargeable thereafter once I get it online on the infinityhealthhub.com. And those that are fortunate that live near East Devon, I am offering these women empowerment retreats. Sorry, men, but this is for women. If I've got men saying, I want that as well, I will set that up for you too, especially for the mother wound healing. That's really, really powerful, that whole feminine lineage. So that is on the 22nd of March, which is a Friday, at the High Grange, and it's a 10-to-1 women empowerment retreat, again using the full moon, but coming into that depth of that wound healing for self-transformation, self-liberation. And they're so freaking powerful. And I'm not just saying that from my perspective, that it's me. It's the power that you see when people connect to their power. It's just incredible. Okay, you wouldn't even, I sort of know it, but when you see it and feel it and see the transformation of people, it just blows your mind. Okay, we are so much more powerful than we have ever believed that we are. And that was what's going to start breaking free, because people start owning their power. They'll start owning their sovereignty and stepping right back up to who they're here to be. So, recap, Sunday the 24th of March, online, Womb-Hara healing for men and women, and then the Women Empowerment Retreat on the 22nd Friday of March, okay? So let me know if anything appeals to you. I will be dropping in links shortly, and yeah, all the best with this. So that was just like a little heads up in terms of what we're going to be experiencing, well, for the next 12 months at least, because Aries, which is what the moon is coming through, is actually the start of the astrological sign. So we have a whole 12 months of this. So the deeper and more connected we are, the easier this process is going to be. Okay, so lots of love. Thank you for listening, and we will see you soon. Take care.